Okie doke, I believe it's going. Yes, and the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
Titans and
Oh
Flagons.
yeah.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Mark Kilfoyle as Nedry slash Vertigo slash Nedrigo.
I wonder if anybody actually knows all the questions, let alone the answers.
Are there, in fact, a finite number of questions that could be known?
I'll start a count.
Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn.
Trust me, I'm a doctor. Take 2 pillars and call me in the morning.
Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift.
Hello, friends, except Paul, because that was terrible.
Can I give him inspiration for that?
I am personally of the opinion that we need to bring back the idea that puns are actually good and funny.
Oh,
Jenny Meltzer as Evan Cresseldown.
Hello.
So, when last we left our heroes, things are getting close here. The party has had many existential threats to face, and many of those have been faced and defeated. But the one that has felt as though it was perhaps at the center of them all, the Titan artifact known as the Pillar, with its strange ancient magic, granting poisoned wishes throughout the eons. You have what may be a solution, except you don't really understand how or why the strange machine you've been instructed to build is supposed to help. But you don't have any other ideas. In the meantime, you one of your number has recently ascended to godhood, which, it's kind of a mixed thing, emotionally speaking. I think that you are now without Zaleen, who has become Lady Nightshade, replacing the throne of the Mistress of the Dark as the goddess of the domain of death. But that means she's also no longer here with you. And so Jenny is now playing Evan Cresseldown, the protege of Zaleen, and sidekick to all of you as you prepare to depart for your destiny. When last we left, I believe we were still in the flying castle that you've kind of made a home in, known as Sunia Dion Turbello. You've got friends around you who support you, but it's all up to you to decide now the plan. I think you had decided you were... Yeah, so that's right. We did leave off with you deciding that you would be making use of Amethyst's transport abilities to get you to Dinuther. But was the goal still to try to check in with the rebel cell that you met there, or were you going to bypass that and head straight for the pillar?
Uh, if that's the plan, then that's what we should do.
Well,
I mean, I'm more in favor of just going to the pillar, because while we may not be on the same ticking clock we were, um, people are still dying and stuff. So yeah, maybe we should, you know.
Right. I'm in favor.
I mean, I merely thought they might know something of what's happening on the ground since we left. Um, we left with the Pillarites in disarray, I guess you might say. and whether that's changed any of the pillar's influence or. I mean, now the siphoners are also in disarray, as are the uh, construct makers, the contractors.
Well, but there's not. I mean, what is that going to change? like knowing whatever status they're in. Um, yeah, it's like I said, like the longer that we go without dealing with the main problem, the more people are gonna get hurt, and we can't start putting everything back together until we fix the heart of the problem.
I kind of agree with Carolina because wow, this is weird. Like having an opinion about stuff. Um I kind of agree with her because like, we go wasting all this time. I mean, what's going to be the point of fixing the problem if there's no one left alive to see it
I,
because we messed around?
I guess there are enough unknowns already, and I don't like not knowing what I'm going into. So any indication that might help, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Well, I don't think anybody is gonna know what we're walking into when we go to the pillar because they've not been there.
I agree with Caroline about that too.
I understand, like I'm concerned about these people too. But if we stop and help one group, there are like all of these tears and things are still happening in the world. Places that we can't see, people we've never met. And if we take the time to do one of these smaller things that other people could theoretically do, when we're the only ones that can go to the pillar, why are we doing anything else?
As much as I would like to know if they're doing okay, it was really about the information they might have. They're within eyesight of the pillar. If anything's changed, they would be the ones who might have an idea of what it is. But if you don't think that they would know anything more, then I guess we can move around them.
I mean, honestly, we don't even know how many of them are still there, right? I mean, didn't a lot of them come here-ish?
Not the pillarines.
The
Oh,
rebels.
that's right. They're
The rebels, yeah.
See, I don't
so
know who these people are.
The Pillarines were the ones up in the perimeter fortress around the pillar itself,
Yeah.
who you kind of last saw as they were having a last stand fight against the nightmare creatures infesting the fortress. And you basically left them to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we need to go to the pillars, the pillar, and yeah, because I think if we deal with the heart of the problem, everything else is going to be easier because things won't be getting worse when we can finally start making progress towards things getting better. And I would really, really like that.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal. I'm not against that. I just don't like going with less than I know. Or less than I could know.
But sometimes it's time to act. And I think Carolina is right. It's time to act.
We could hit a library along the way. Maybe there'll be more
Ooh,
information
a
there.
library. I haven't burned one of those in a while.
They
love me.
I don't even know how to read. So I'm going to pass on the
What?
library.
Oh, we have so much work to do.
I don't think I can. Like Zaleen tried to show me, I just couldn't do it.
I can make you read. I'll help you read.
Wasn't Evan's job originally to spy on us and write down?
Well, right. That's
To report.
Yeah, to report. Like that's a presupposition on your part. Although huge swing right at the end of the campaign to just suddenly declare that he can't read.
I can't even read.
I think he's just looking for excuses not to go to the library because he remembers how bad it is every time somebody tries to go to the library.
I think Amethyst leading you through the route says, "Oh, I can't go to the library. I've got an overdue book."
That's a really good reason not to go.
Yeah, we're really dealing with unprecedented things. I suppose I have to write the books if anybody's going to read them. If
Maybe.
if this time I really don't make it back, but you do, um, if you can take my journals with you, take them to a Tessatam office, and I'm sure they'll figure them out eventually.
I can do that for you, brother.
Thanks.
You really think you're going to die?
I don't think I'm coming back. I didn't think that last time either. And I'm not entirely sure I did come back.
You're here. I mean, Carolina wished you back, right?
Something came back. But I've been changed so much each time we've gone somewhere that I'm not really me anymore.
I mean, who are any of us really? You know, I died like twice. Twice.
One
I
was
mean, I know
yesterday.
Zinhorn. I know
One was
Zinhorn
yesterday.
pretty well. Lynn has always been a bit of a mystery. Quite literally being a whole bunch of people.
Well, I'm still me at the heart of it, but I don't know. I tend to think that, change is kind of inevitable. And if you're not changing, are you really living?
Unless you're
Yeah.
dying.
Well,
Like
this
I
is
did
a
yesterday.
super fun discussion.
I guess technically it was 2 days ago because you slept in the tower down there at the
That's
temple
right.
first, and then you spent another night in the castle.
Yeah.
But still,
Sorry, 2 days ago.
point remains.
Something went
36
really
hours.
bad at breakfast, I guess, and
Yeah.
had to revive him
I'm
again.
just saying, don't be scared. Because if you're scared, like I'm a freak out. You guys are the pros. I'm just like the backup.
Mm,
Not anymore.
yeah.
Congratulations, you've been promoted.
You are part of the A team,
Oh dear.
Yeah, you go up front.
the
No.
Pocket Titans.
I'm not wearing a red shirt, just so y'all know. I
Well,
don't
that's
like
good.
red. I'm not wearing red. Red is not my color.
You do have all that hard armor.
I do.
So,
All right, let's just go.
one of the things that we ended up going back and forth on a little bit last time was definitively establishing how you are transporting the machine. I had assumed that you had it in the tower. I believe that is where we settled it, if only because otherwise, are you just carrying this thing that's the size of 2 refrigerators, attached to each other? Like you're just carrying it around? Even if you're physically strong enough, that's not an
It's
easy
really
thing to carry
awkward.
around. Yeah.
Does it have to fit through the door of the tower? I guess we can make the tower bigger if we needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could have done all of that before we left. And I think that's probably the smartest decision, is to have the machine in the tower, and then we take the tower with us.
Besides the tower door has never actually, you don't really
Yeah.
open it. You kind of flash in and out. But
Fair
in
enough.
any case, yes, I think that you, with your now long known and well earned understanding of the intricacies of the tower, you figured it out. So it's in there.
Okay.
There's a
Good.
manual?
But yeah, once we got in contact with Rupino, he gave us all the documentation.
All right, so I think guiding you through these root networks and then up through branches, you do all sense, I think, that there's a feeling of almost like when the atmospheric pressure is changing and your ears need to pop a little bit, but it's not really that. It feels more like something magical. And Amethyst does, after a while, say, I think we're getting pretty close to a point where I don't think I should get any closer to it. Given that we know that it can do strange things that you don't always mean for it to do. So I can see that there's some kind of like a fort up there, and I can put you basically outside of it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yep, I think that's a good place to go.
Now, everyone else is working hard to keep everybody safe from these nightmare creatures while you go in there and do this. So we'll hold that down. You all take care of this. I think the right people are here to do the job.
Thank you for your vote of confidence.
I'm really feeling so much better, honestly. So I know that it was like hard, but I appreciate it. I feel like I owed it to you. So peace. She just like falls backward into a root and is gone.
Well, she certainly knows how to make an exit.
Mm-hmm. So you're kind of emerging from a very shallow sort of natural cavern that, now that she's gone, the tunnel that you seem to have come through isn't there anymore. But you can see, up the slope of this hill, you can see, just above the trees, you can see the ring of this perimeter fortress that you had once been inside.
Is it on fire?
Not obviously from here.
Okay.
Well, it's looking better than I thought it might.
So last time we had to go through all of this bizarre stuff to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
We went through a wall last time.
Yeah, and we have this the hither zither too this time. So
I don't know. Is anybody attuned to that? Because I unattuned to it to take the tower.
Oh.
So
Should probably
unless
figure that
Evan's got
out.
it.
I didn't have it. But I mean, I could, I think. Let me look.
It would be hard for me
Well,
to.
we also
I could attune to it because I could unattune from the Talisman of Pure Good.
we shut down the power last time. Did that affect the outside? Can we just like walk through the perimeter now?
I mean, walk around the perimeter? Or
No.
walk through the building?
Walk. There was like a perimeter fence kind of thing.
Oh,
Or
no.
Was it
I
a
think
fence
that was
or a
like,
wall? It's been a while.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're, right now, if you recall, there was basically sort of forest, and then it gets to a point where the mountain kind of extends above tree line, where it's sort of like tundra surrounding, with this relatively steep grade up to this sheer white fortress wall. And then what you see is like, past that wall is sort of an opaque magical force field of some kind that sort of extends up into the clouds. And so you don't really see with your, literal eyes what the pillar must be inside that. But that's what you see from outside here. But you are correct that there was a whole thing last time where when you crossed a certain threshold, you heard a warning. So you are still outside that threshold.
we could also experiment with the machine if it would show us something different about what this is. They might even show a doorway if that's whatever it's going to do. It does not tend to show what's here now, but rather what was here or could be here. Its projection was rather confusing,
That's true.
but it might be a good idea to try it.
Didn't it hurt you guys last time?
We're more prepared for it now.
Well, I'm
Yes,
just
it
saying
did.
if it's like just given the proximity to the pyramid and all the additional like weird magic in the air, maybe don't do that until it's like go time.
I'm only worried that I won't know what it'll do at that point, and not that it seems to have much for controls or input from whoever's using it, but
Right, because if it's gonna hurt people, then I'm hesitant to use it until we have to.
very little that we know about it is about it changing perspective. I don't know if it'd be useful to see something different about the way that Pillarines operate, or how this does anything to protect anybody, this force field. But again, if your argument is time, we can just move through as swiftly as we can.
So is the fortress like built around the pillar? Like, do you have to go
Yes,
through
it
there to
literally
get to the?
completely encircles it. And so there's a wall that theoretically you could go over the wall, but there's a force field of some kind that you cannot see through. So as you kind of look up this slope, you know, you do recall that there is a ring of stones that's about 500 feet outside the wall. You know, so it's stones placed around, and you received the automated message before reaching that point before. Are you making your way in that direction?
I think we should.
Where the offerings were being given, right?
Yeah.
Right, but they were also. So there's there's a couple possible results here, but either the nightmare creatures have taken over this fortress, or the Pillarines managed to keep control. But I don't think they like us very much because we wreaked a lot of havoc on their systems.
Neither one of them like us very much.
So
I'm not
this
sure
is
if the
going to
nightmare
be
creatures like anybody, actually, but. And then there's Tanglefoot.
Yeah.
he's
all of
one of
them.
the nightmare creatures, isn't he?
But
Mhm.
The sloths,
more
that's what they're called.
embodied than most of what we've seen. Most are simple monsters, but those ones seem to have more knowledge.
So I'm wondering if we have this machine now. I'm not saying use it as a bargaining chip, but we might have to.
Bargaining chip.
All right, so saying the slots took over, right? I have a feeling they would be very interested in this machine that we have. I'm trying to remember exactly what Tanglefoot said to us about wanting to return or go back to where they came from, something like that. That's why they were trying to get to Dineth there. So I don't know if maybe this machine powers their ability to get back to, like, I don't know. Are they going to destroy this world to bring their world into this one? I don't know. But they might want this machine for something.
Well, we're
And
not going to give it to them.
right, but I'm not sure how we're going to get into this fortress without dangling some kind of carrot.
I don't think we can do anything if we don't have the machine.
Yeah. I wouldn't even tell them about it.
Um,
Let's
as you're moving up closer, you without kind of realizing it, you're approaching where that ring of stones is. And again, when I say ring, I do mean like it's all the way around the peak. But you suddenly hear you've crossed the threshold where the automated message once again says, "Warning, Pillarine authenticators are no longer accepted. Do not cross the ring of stones or you will be treated as a hostile seeker. If you wish to offer tribute to the pillar without passing the threshold, travel to one of the 4 offering circles which are placed equidistant around the circumference. Living offerings will be sterilized before they enter the fortress. Construct offerings must be suitably restrained or the capsule will not transfer to the fortress."
Well, the
So
warning message is still working.
But
just
that
keep going.
that could just be anything.
Yep.
I think we discussed this last time, but the part about what was it? Sterilization of living matter is somewhat bothersome, but
Well, what happens if we cross the threshold with? I mean, it just says we'll be treated as a hostile seeker.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Does that mean that we will be disintegrated on the spot? Does that mean I don't know. Do they send out flying constructs after us or something? I have no idea what that means.
I
Maybe they
don't.
put a cow on a catapult and launch it at us.
You have a strange mind. I was wondering if we
I
might offer the tower as an
No.
offering
no,
with us inside of it.
no. I don't think that's a good idea. Scary.
I think we walk up to their door and break it down.
I mean, I'm for just walking up there too.
I
I mean, what's
we
the worst
barely
that can
escaped with
happen?
our lives last time. They're quite
Exactly.
powerful.
Well, we're not,
Wimps.
yeah, we're not who we used to be. We've changed and
Mm-hmm.
we've learned some new tricks too.
True.
It occurs to me that I now have a use for the Diamond of Infinite Facets.
Mm-mm.
Oh well.
One that the Kraken out there I heard was eaten.
Yeah. It probably would have interfered with the shield, I think. I don't know if we want to take the time to try to fight off the entire Pillarines, though. Are we
mean, we
looking
may
to move
not
through
have to.
quickly? Well, their attitude towards us is probably not improved.
Probably not, but I mean, maybe they all killed each other. We don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
After we disarmed all of their defenses and everything, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we did a lot of damage to the power source too. So,
Are you proceeding or are you still talking?
let's proceed.
So as you move closer and closer, you reach the the obvious line represented by this enormous circle of stones. Just kind of at this range, right up by it, it's basically just a large sort of menhir, like the big stones like in Stonehenge, except that they're maybe like 10 feet tall and they're about like 30 feet apart and just spaced that way all the way around the peak. But so it's certainly not subtle when you reach the point where you would be crossing that threshold. Do you cross it?
So it just occurred to me that I have access to the scrying spell via the Vidunme deck. So in theory, I could. I guess is that see in here particular? It's a creature. Hmm.
You can scry on locations, but usually it has to be a location you're familiar with in some way.
Right. So I was trying to think of a good place, like within the fortress,
Mm-hmm.
that might give us some indicator of how things stand. That maybe Nedry will feel a little bit better.
Well,
um.
while you're figuring that out, I'm going to cast Aid at 5th level, so everybody gets 20 hit points.
This is a change to the max, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Vertigo is going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on Evan. That activates his shield.
All right.
And I'll roll a d4. And it doesn't take a spell slot.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember any locations that we were in that would have been, because like there was the initial room we started in.
Mm-hmm.
There's the power center.
Yeah, and that's all I can really remember is that.
Well, you were kind of fascinated by a gem at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some kind of crystal thing that kept
There-
killing me.
There was
Wasn't there, like-
certainly-
Maybe we need to do something about that.
Go ahead. I can ask when you're done.
I was just going to say that certainly there was a notable room where you were barricaded in there trying to disable all the power generators. Which
Right,
you
but
We
then
did-
did, but it's also been a little while since then. So
Yeah, but that's
So it's-
also not necessarily going to give us a reading, like a yeah, it's not gonna necessarily gonna give us a accurate reading of who's in control of the base for one.
well, so
Two,
I
yeah.
recall that there was the room where you disabled the 3 auxiliary generators, which let you gain access to the primary one, which you then destroyed.
Okay.
There's also a lot of rooms that you didn't go in. There's a
Yeah.
lot of rooms where you saw.
So
a
are
bunch
you
of,
gonna
pillars
scry?
and monsters? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about scrying in there. I mean, it might not even work if it's within that force field. Like, I don't know.
How far from the physical or from the force field are we now? Is it still several hundred feet away, or
Well, so the force field is basically on the inside of the perimeter wall because it's basically to just stop you from just flying over the wall.
okay?
So.
But if you
the-
dimension doored through it,
Like that's what the hither thither one is for, you know.
Mhm.
I know. Well, that's why I sent you a message about.
Yeah. So the question, what if you dimension doored through it, is a good question. The answer right now,
I mean,
you don't know.
I
Okay.
think that's the smart play, but
As an
Well-
experiment,
Mhm.
Nedry is going to try to shoot a firebolt through the shield.
Okay.
See if it passes through or.
Bear in mind, right now, what I'm describing is that you're at this ring of stones. There's no
Okay,
obvious
so we're
shield
still-
or anything. It's just an obvious place where it seems really clear from the environmental landscaping that they consider one side to be one thing and the other side to be a different thing.
Right. Okay.
You know, this is basically, you were warned, don't cross the threshold. You're at the threshold, but you don't actually see any shield here.
Okay.
The force field that I'm describing is 500 feet further away on the inside of the perimeter fortress.
Okay.
Right. So right
Well-
now, there's nothing obvious to stop you from just walking through between the stones.
I would walk through, but I'm the one that heals people now. So if I go
I'm-
down?
I mean, I have some
I do too.
capability to do that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, fine. I'll go. I'll
I'm a
go.
paladin. So. No, wait.
Oh, that's
Before
right.
anybody does that, I'm going to take out the I have this thing. I have to look at it because I haven't used it in a really long time. It's oh, there it is. It's that little raven
Oh, the
that
statue?
Zaleen had that I can summon it
Mhm.
and send it on messages and stuff. So I want to summon that and send it through to see what happens.
Okay. As it flies through, do you have stats for it?
It's just like a bird, so it's
Okay.
probably like 1 hit point.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's see. Usually they have stats for like just.
I think it's just like it's a magical thing, so it's kind of like those things you pull from the Feywild
Mhm.
when you summon creatures. So
It's not like you're killing a real creature, then, is what you're saying. It's not a real bird dying.
it's not
just...
real. It's just fake. Oh wait, it says ravens have an AC of 12 when 1 hit
Okay.
point.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so if you've got that, have it make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. This is +2. Did it roll? Yeah, roll. Five.
Okay. As it flies through, suddenly there is another magically generated like noise, but this one is more like an alarm sound. It's almost like, you know, a strange mechanical klaxon. And all of a sudden the raven is covered with sort of a glowing glitter, very much like fairy fire spell. And then as you watch, a little magical dart, or rather, you hear sort of a pop, pop, pop sound from the forest, and you watch as a couple of magical darts of energy. Nedrigo, you would recognize it as being, you know, virtually identical, if not exactly, a magic missile type dart. The raven is blasted to pieces. However, there is, following that initial blast of 4 darts, you hear a larger kaboom sound, and you look, and an explosion has just gone off in the tower of the fortress where those darts launched from, and now there's kind of a column of smoke going up from there. The klaxon has goes for another 10 seconds or so and then stops.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I'm gonna risk it. Put my shield out in front of me, and I take 2 steps past the line.
All right. The klaxon starts up again, and make a dexterity saving throw.
A 10.
Yes. A 10. With the 10, you also are covered with a golden glowing powder that seems to just like cling to your every nook and cranny, making you sort of glow and making your presence very obvious. You do not hear the little pop, pop, pop sounds, though, and there don't seem to be any magic darts heading your way from where that smoke now rises from the tower.
Okay. I'm gonna keep walking.
You know, you make
Well,
it
he's-
another 15, 20
He's not
feet.
going on his own.
Nothing else seems to happen. The klaxon does continue to go.
Kind of look at Evan and shrug and like follow after.
Yeah. All right. Everyone that
All
passes
right.
through, make a dexterity saving throw.
24.
Okay. Yes, 24. You are able to avoid being glitter bombed. So
20.
is Vertigo, and so is Evan. Wow, look at all you level 20 PCs with your high modifiers.
+2 is not high.
Well, okay, you still got a 20, dirty 20. So in any case, yeah. So Zinhorn, you have the good fortune then, I suppose, to be the only one of the party that has got glitter bombed. But as you make your way through, you're leaving behind the source of this magical klaxon. So while you can hear that it is continuing to sound, it is less annoying as you leave it behind. And there doesn't seem to be any more of this attack, but you do see that, the place where they initially came from the Raven, it seems to have blown up. So
Okay.
So that doesn't bode well for the Pillarines, I think.
No. Might make it easier for us to get through, but that also might mean the nightmares have taken over.
So have we considered that this machine may also give us a different perspective on these nightmare creatures?
Possibly. The machine takes a little while to set up. So it's not like we can whip it out in the middle of something terrible, but if we have a more controlled situation, maybe, or some distance.
Well,
Any perspective we can get is good, I think.
the nightmare creatures come back after you kill them. It does
Yeah.
take a while. The Pillarines do not. So, if they got into a battle of attrition, then the nightmare creatures would win.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
been the
I'm
whole problem
prepared
with
to see
Dinethir.
bodies. Like, this is not going to be good.
That's the whole problem with Dinethir from the very beginning. It's always been a war of attrition against an infinite enemy.
Mm.
Maybe we'll move through as quickly as we can.
So you make your way to. I'm trying to remember actually if there was, because you didn't leave by like any sort of a standard exit before.
No, we blew a hole in the wall.
Right. Yeah. So you can certainly head to that place where you blew the hole in the wall. That's straightforward. There is sort of a big, like, obvious entry point with like a ramp where like even large vehicles of some kind could presumably enter, but the door does appear, at least for now, to be closed. But you are able to locate again the place where you blew a hole in the wall before.
Hole in
Is
the
there s-
wall, gang?
Is there still a hole in the wall?
I mean, yeah,
I think, yeah.
Well,
Well-
they haven't fixed it, so that also doesn't go well.
No. But yeah, I think our little gang should use the hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I tell you, next time I say we should go someplace like Dinethir, we should go someplace like Dinethir. Anyway, that's funny for anyone who recognized Paul's joke. But in any case, yes, you make your way to that hole, and sort of climbing up into it, you see a room which is dark. And there are, in fact, some bodies on the ground. They seem to be, decayed, torn apart, pillarine bodies. There's a smell.
I throw
It's gonna be
a
bad.
light cantrip in the room.
Turns out
I
seeing
say-
them clearly is not really more fun, but perhaps necessary nonetheless.
I say a prayer of rest as we walk through.
Hmm.
I am going to shape my face so I do not have a nose.
That's a neat trick.
You look like Voldemort.
That way I don't have to do this. I don't smell things.
So you, as you may recall, are entering the part of the complex here where the fighting was at its most pitched, and you are in fact feeling a bit like this is now a ruin. I think there's maybe even a bit of a remnant of the feeling that you had exploring the ruined Reclaimer's Mansion. This feels like a haunted house in the making. It's harsh, steel metal walls, but where there is anything to break the right angles and flat surfaces of harsh metal, it is in unpleasant organic shapes. There are, lots of these bodies, but you're not really seeing any sign of nightmare creatures. You're not really hearing anything. You're in a part of the complex which seems to have been sort of like a dormitory areas. So, you make your way through that initial room into the hallway there. You can see some of the doors are open and some are not. There's the one path which leads to that hangar from the big vehicle entry door. That's the way you went before. The hallway on the other end has more rooms down there that look kind of like there's like some lines painted on the floor down on that end. Meaning making another bit of a sort of a, like, there's a line on the floor so that when you have crossed from this side of that line to the other side of the line, for example, if that makes sense, as opposed to the kind of line that you follow to go somewhere, if you get my meaning.
I wasn't here, but in the meta, I'm curious as to whether or not these bodies look like the remnants of what the pocket protectors did the last time they were here, or if it's something else.
We didn't leave this many bodies behind.
So when
Sure.
you left these rooms, when you were in them previously, it was when there was a heated battle going on between the Pillarines and the nightmare creatures.
Okay.
And what you see here seems to be validation that Zinhorn was correct, that the nightmare creatures won, but also that they, at least in the part that you've seen here, they're not around either. But they also didn't leave bodies the last time you killed one.
Yeah. And depending on how long it takes for them to reconstitute themselves, I don't know that they'll ever reform themselves.
Yeah.
They may be back, or they may be gone.
There may also still be rifts around here, and they may have even left some behind, so we'd best watch out.
Well, let's proceed as quietly and stealthily as possible.
Okay.
Which way are you going?
Toward the center, right?
Well, that dashed line might be what represents where the force field is. Like once you cross that line.
Maybe.
So I think that's where we should go.
Okay.
Because the way we went last time didn't lead to the pillar, it led to like the generators and stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean,
Although,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know what that means, but like that the line on the floor just speaks to me.
Mhm.
Says
Well,
across me.
Says
you didn't ever
cafeteria.
go that way before.
Right.
You know that when you were last here, this is just because it's been a while for everyone. I looked up. It was episode 138 when we were last here. We're currently at 172, so it's been a little while.
2003 or 2023?
Not quite 2003. I don't think we went back that far.
Yeah.
But you recall that a big part of the need for your whole thing in there was that the Pillarines had decided to set off some sort of a doomsday device is a good guess of some kind, and so you needed to shut that down, which you did. But now it seems like the whole base, at least as far as what you can see, is without power. And right now, like I said, the air feels kind of like stale and thick, and everything is quiet. But you make your way down this hallway. You know, your footsteps resound within the echoes of this empty corridor. And you get to the end of the hallway where, as I mentioned, there is a red stripe painted on the floor in such a way that to continue down the hallway, you have to, step across it. But then past that, there is a door on the left-hand side and a door on the right-hand side. The door on the right-hand side looks like a more secure door, as opposed to like an ordinary one.
Is there any kind of like signage or placards or
I believe
directories?
that there were signs that you did. Did you learn how to read them before? Now I can't remember if you had figured out how to read the signs. There were.
I do remember something about signs, but I
There were
don't
signs,
remember.
and I just don't remember like if you had. I don't remember if I had them be in like a strange language that you had to translate or something. Yeah, I think that we'll say that there were. And so like this point up close here, you see that the sign on the left said says environmental protection. And then the sign on the right says no access under any circumstances.
Why would you have a door if you want nobody to ever go through the door?
I think it's for like in case of emergency type situation.
Everything needs to be maintained.
I am going to go to the plane door. So I'm going to cross the line on the floor.
Okay. You step across the line and you place your foot down on the floor on the other side, and nothing happens.
Okay.
2 paces later, finger of death.
You are annihilated. No.
Disintegration.
No, it's fine. Nothing happens.
So yeah, I'm going to go into the left-hand normal looking door.
Sure. It seems as though perhaps there was no, just like no one like went in here when the fighting was going on, because there doesn't seem to be really any sign of struggle, only of lack of upkeep in the time that has been since then. But it is a room where there are several racks with what seem to be like strange, bulky suits that you could put on that would cover you from head to toe, and has a strange, like gas mask looking face that it has on it. And there's arcane runes of some kind that are sort of filigreed all over it, but otherwise it is like, 8 or so of these types of suits look to be more or less one size fits all, although there's a difference when you're talking about perhaps someone who's actually smaller as opposed to just stockier.
So Did y'all come with me? I don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was
Okay.
behind you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess that maybe these are protections against the pillar's magic.
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
kind of reminds me of a personal Craberatus. You
Oh, you had
know.
to go and say that.
Mm.
I was fine with them being a jacket or something, but I don't want to wear a craparatus.
Mhm.
But it's a personal Craberatus. It's like a personal pizza.
It
You
just
know.
means it's smaller. It's even worse.
Yeah, but you don't have to share it. That
Yeah.
wasn't that the problem with the Craberatus, was that it was so
And
cramped in
it-
there.
And you're not like submerged under, hundreds of feet of water either.
Mhm.
Well, that's true.
So think of it more like I was gonna say a bubble, but that's probably not.
I could take a moment and study them to see what their function is.
It's you could do that. You're very good at magic stuff, right?
Sometimes.
Let's see.
So humble.
Do you study
So he
them?
can start the ritual of identify.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can just make a plain old Arcana check first if you want.
Okay.
I
That's
mean,
a 30.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you can certainly still do the identify if you want, but I think with a 30, you're able to tell that these suits are clearly designed to protect against some kind of a harsh magical environment. Maybe to some extent, there's a degree of physical protection involved as well. They do look fairly sturdy. However, the sort of filigreed runes all over them seem as though you believe that this is, it's designed so that if there's magic outside the suit, that it won't affect whoever's inside it. You suspect it's possible that it may be magic dampening entirely, though, which would mean that inside the suit you can't do your own magic either.
So, effectively magic dampening, which is fascinating in and of itself. It would be better if we could just use the power of it without having to wear the suits. But I suspect it's all woven together. Doesn't fit me anyway.
About that, have you ever wished you were a little bit taller? I'm was gonna offer to because I think it's important that we all do this. I don't think we can leave anybody behind. Then if it's magic dampening, I don't know if that'll work then. I was gonna offer to cast polymorph, but even inside the suit, if that has the magic dampening effects, that's not gonna work either.
I don't know how much is directed inward. We'll have to test it to find out. Or I can take more time to try to fully understand it, but
Or I could just cast polymorph on you and we can try it.
well, that's a lot of magical resources to test. We could do something simpler.
It's one spell.
Well,
If I just
cantrip?
simply am inside and try to cast a spell, I also have my shield up. And if the shield is dispelled or dimmed by the suit, we'd know. Similar with your armor, Zenhorn. If your armor's no longer fluid,
that would make walking really hard, make it really hard for me to get out.
I can't imagine they'd want to fully repress any abilities they have, though.
Yeah. I was thinking Lynn could like make herself super skinny and tall and strong, and then you could both.
So she's already
in
started getting
there.
in one of the suits
Sure,
as they're
sure.
just talking. Just to see what happens.
It's a little bit dusty, but as you're climbing in, I don't, it's certainly not a tailored fit, but you're able to, pull it on kind of like coveralls in the sense that it has fastening on the back like it zips up the back, and otherwise you're putting your arms into sleeves, and there are gloves on the end of it, and same with the legs. You put your feet into, and then there's the helmet sort of pulls on, and then it needs to be like closed with the fastenings on the back. You don't feel any different while it's still like unzipped, basically.
Okay. So I assume as like they're still sitting there like debating things, I
Mhm.
just kind of like trundled up. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't
Mhm.
put my arms down.
Also, you would need someone else to seal it for you.
Right. And so
All
I
right.
just kind of like waddle, like turning around. It's like, can somebody get this?
Yep.
Zip me up. Yeah.
All right. I'll zip up Lynn.
Okay. Lynn, make a wisdom saving throw.
7.
Uh,
Actually, suits of annihilation.
so as the suit, closes, there's a little bit of a vibration that you sort of feel throughout it, and there's a little bit of a chiming sound as the magic activates. And all of a sudden, it's a little bit as though someone has just placed a thick layer of cotton over your mind. Everything that you were like, you can your thoughts are your own, but everything just sort of feels muted. Like your emotions that you were feeling about, like, is this going to be okay? Are we doing something scary? What do we need to do? All of that just sort of feels far away right now. And you can still think, but it's just a little bit like thinking through a thick layer of cotton.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around and look at my companions. And I don't, can they even see my face? Like, would they even be able to see
What
inside?
they could see your eyes through some like round glass lenses. It's kind of like I said, kind of like an old fashioned gas mask face.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna try to change my shape a little bit, like to make myself a little taller.
Put your nose back on.
Yeah, just to see if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can, then I think we're probably good.
Mm-hmm. There, it's a strange sensation because it doesn't exactly feel like you try and can't. It's like you keep sort of saying, "All right, I'm going to do it. Any second now, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do it now. Wait, no now." And you
It's
just
like trying
keep
to get
sort
out
of,
of bed on a Saturday morning.
yeah,
Okay.
you kind of just keep not doing it. Like, even though you want to, you can't quite make yourself actually initiate it. And so it's a little different than saying you try to change and it doesn't happen. You sort of feel yourself unable to initiate the process.
Okay. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna turn around and kind of like point to the fasteners again to like,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know that I want to be able to articulate it clearly without the effects of the suit like
Mm-hmm.
getting in
Try
the way.
talking first. Try talking first. I want to see if I can hear you.
It's muffled a little bit, but you can hear him saying basically that, like that.
Okay. Like, open me up.
Gotcha.
Open me up.
Just as a test, Nedra will point a finger at her and use the message cantrip to see if she can hear.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hear me, say hullabaloo.
It doesn't connect at all. Your spell
Okay.
cannot find the target.
Interesting.
Well, once I've got the helmet off, I will explain to them kind of like what it felt like. Um, Yes, it's just kind of not like I could feel myself getting ready to do the thing, but like the energy was there. Like it wasn't gone. It was just stuck. I think
Did you
that
try
makes
casting a
sense.
spell?
Well, no.
We've seen other effects which can disrupt magic, but not usually affect your ability to change.
Or think.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
I mean, it's not going to affect me much, but you guys.
Well, I'm not
I
a
don't
super
think.
fast thinker normally anyway. Um more of a, feeling it kind of person. But even that was very dampened. And I mean, it makes sense because if you get rid of like all of that noise, then you're left with, more logical processes that, that other stuff isn't going to sway your thoughts one way or the other. So if you're
That
approaching the
was,
pillar, it doesn't accidentally grant a wish that you wouldn't really want.
well, that also sounds like what the Pillarine discipline was like. They removed a lot of their own wants and needs, I think. Never quite fully understood that, but it hollowed them out, essentially. So it sounds like the suit might be something similar.
Yeah, it's not so much a hollowing out as it is a putting a little curtain between those things. Like over on one side, they're not gone. There's just like a wall in between there.
Well, it might offer some resistance. Um, have to make sure that whatever we do want to use is on the outside of the suit, I guess.
Well, it'll also give us a chance to do some recon and see what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Not sure if there's any that'll fit me, though. The Pillarines were all relatively tall.
Well, I mean, there's nothing saying that this couldn't be one of those magical adjustable pieces of clothing that, adjusts to meet the needs of of its owner, which, I've kind of always been wanting, but, it's too much money.
The funny thing is, I always think of Lynn as the opposite. They adjust to whatever size of clothes they happen to have that day.
Well, yeah, but like I shouldn't have to.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Nedry, you want to give it a try?
The very
I,
ablest
I'm,
thought.
I mean, it will show pretty quickly if it doesn't adjust.
Yeah.
We'll have to find something else to work, but I can try it.
Okay. You want help getting in, or you got it?
I think I'm going to need it. I don't even
Okay.
know if I can reach the arms.
All right. Well, I help him in,
Mm-hmm.
This
and
feels quite ridiculous, actually.
all right. Well, I'm gonna close it up, and if it doesn't start adjusting, then I'll open it up.
So I think like climbing into it and trying to like bunch the legs and the sleeves up enough that your hands can kind of be in the glove parts. There is very much a 4-year-old trying to wear his dad's suit vibe here. Um, Not to diminish or disrespect Nedry at all, or Vertigo, or Nedrigo, or whoever, but it's made for someone twice your size, and so it's
Most of the
definitely,
world is.
yeah, it's a very awkward fit. Then when the fastenings are closed up and it sort of activates, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, because you've got your magical dealy bob. You can go ahead and make that with advantage.
I like my dealy bobs. That's a 25.
Okay, you feel this sort of wave of suppression start to flow over you in very much the way that Carolina suggested that it would. You feel as though you could allow it to go ahead and settle into place, or resist.
His natural instinct is resist.
Sure, understandable. So you are able to sort of resist that, and you are not subject to those effects. The suit does not adjust itself to fit your size, however.
Okay.
So I think that you could, in a very awkward way, like holding up the excess material with your arms, you could kind of shuffle along in the boots.
But
If you wanted.
I kind of imagine too, like he's short enough that even the helmet he can't really see out the eye stalks very well. He will try that same experiment though of message to try to send a message to choosing Lynn again, to see if the magic flows outward.
You have the exact same experience. Yeah. It's just as though your spell is not sensing anyone within range that you could target.
Okay.
What about any of your magical doodad things? Like, are they deactivated? Like, can you cast something internally?
I think you do sense that your arcane ward is not active.
Okay.
Or rather, it's very similar to an anti-magic field. It's being suppressed, okay. Which means that it's probably still up or still active in a way that if you were to move now outside the suit, it would be up again, but it is not functioning within the suit.
Okay. I think at this point, he's just sort of gesturing with very short arms to kind of flap at the back part. Because again, really do anything. It's probably pretty heavy too, actually.
Your hand comes out of the glove, so it's just kind of flopping around. Yeah, it's not overly heavy, but it's not, it's just awkward because there's just so much extra material. Yeah. It's not like steel. It's fabric. It's just, it's like canvas.
Yeah. But yeah, he's indicating to get out, slightly frantically.
I open it up.
Yeah.
Well, that was unpleasant.
You can't hear each other through this. You don't have to just gesture, but that's fine. That's fine.
I've had to deal with this before at the orphanage, like putting nice clothes on kids that were too small.
Why doesn't Nedry just ride in the tower?
Well, I won't be able to see anything or do anything.
Like I said, if you make yourself tall and skinny, can he fit in there with you?
I don't think it works like that. Like, I wasn't able to change my shape.
Well, I mean, change your shape before we seal it up.
That seems uncomfortable.
He still wouldn't be able to see anything.
Or do anything.
2 PCs in an environment suit?
If only we had another short character.
So that's why I'm thinking like the alternative here is just, you don't like wearing the suit anyway. So
no.
I can wear it for both of us.
It's everything I don't want to have. Aside from the protection against the magic, I don't like feeling that out of power. But I would suggest that others might wear them. I don't know how it'll interact with your armor or anything else. My magic was suppressed. If we had more time, if only. What I would suggest is we take one of the suits and put it into the tower, at least one, maybe a bunch of them. Later on, if what we do here doesn't succeed, it will help others to be able to come through. It will protect them, and they can be studied to possibly transform them from the size and shape they are into something a little more comfortable for others.
Well, I think we can take one for you, but I think the others we should leave behind so that if anybody else does try to come after us, that they, if this doesn't work, then they have the means of doing so.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Am I still glowing?
It's faded some, but still a little bit.
Okay.
You wouldn't have need to cast the light cantrip.
It's more glitter than glowing, I think.
You are the cantrip.
Yeah.
The glitter with the silver armor too, or the silver skin tight armor probably looks great.
we go back to that club in the Feywild, I want you to do this light thing on me. This
Well,
is
the
kind of
good
fun.
the good news is that once you climb in one of these suits, that's probably not going to be effect anymore.
Yeah, probably. All right. I mean, I could
Okay.
take it out for a walk, or do you want to?
So
Um,
how
These suits, do they look kind of all about the same equal use, or does one look more used than others?
I think they look all more or less the same. You get the impression from the room that all the like I you based on the sign that said no access under any circumstances, it's not clear that they do this frequently.
Okay. He'll try. It probably will also be suppressed by the suit, but he'll try touching one of them with his indigo glove to see if he can pick up anything from that.
Okay. Um gosh. This is a fascinating question because
Mhm.
a magic item that where its express purpose is to pick up on like the emotional history of an object. But when the suit's express purpose is to suppress the person wearing its emotions, and yeah,
It's kind of an immovable object versus an unstoppable force kind of question.
Yep.
yeah, I feel like you're getting sort of a mental vision, but just as though I'm describing an Instagram filter here or something. You know how so imagine just like an ordinary sort of like pop song, right? Now, like say you're at a dance club, right? What does that music sound like when you go to use the bathroom at the end of the long hallway? It's kind of muted and muffled, right? Or what if you're listening to it from outside the building and you hear just kind of only the bass, like boom, 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 right?
Yeah,
And and all of the rest is kind of like muffled out of it. So this is not a vision you're like seeing with your eyes, but you are sort of feeling the feelings of someone who wore this suit and was feeling a small degree of fear and anxiety putting it on, and then nothing while wearing it, and then relief when taking it off. But even those feelings are muted in a way that it's like it's been worn before, it's been used, but it has a kind of distasteful psychic aroma to it where it just no one who has ever worn it has ever wanted to wear it, and they were always glad to take it off.
this feels like the psychic impression of bowling alley rental shoes.
they temporarily suppress the smell of your feet,
It's
and
like I can smell this like leathery antiseptic kind of.
Yeah.
is there a can of spray somewhere nearby that you're supposed to
Right.
spritz the suit with before you use this?
But-
Antifungal spray.
But as you're doing this, make an insight check.
Well, 5.
5. You feel like there must have been more, but it's the nature of this thing is so hostile to this kind of magical inquiry that whatever other impressions there might have been are too muted and muffled to make out.
Well, they made them well. They knew the dangers of a stray thought, I suppose.
Yep.
There are ways to protect without a suit. I'm not sure how different my magics will be.
I have a thing that I got a long time ago called the Monocle of Secret Seeing
Mm-hmm.
that I have never used. I am going to take that out and look at the suit and look around and see if there are any secrets I can see.
Let's see. Trying to remember if I weird. Okay, my attempt to search my notes for monocle was not successful. Was this this wasn't the item that was this the item you got from the Fey Court? Or
It may have been. Yeah, I think that might be it.
I remember Lynn having a monocle for a while,
No, Paul had it.
or a ring of truth seeing or something.
hang on.
Maybe that's
let's
what it was.
see.
That was Nira.
Oh my
The
God,
ring
was
of
it?
truthiness. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, so you're from the Fey Court when you're going down into the Moonshadowed Sea. You got the monocle, which is this single lens can tell you what a heart pretends.
Ah,
So it is designed to glean secrets from people who are keeping secrets, not
got it.
places.
All right.
Any of the rest of you keeping secrets that the lens would pick
Well,
up?
I was gonna say Paul had looked at all of us before and definitely saw a card in Lynn's pocket.
Well, um, yeah. I would
So,
suggest the
okay.
three of you put the suits on. I'll do what I can on my side, and we'll
All
see what
right.
we can do.
Yeah, I think like originally I was thinking that I would, have the thing inside the suit, but that's obviously not going to work because somebody has to help us like fasten all the suits. I'm not sure that we can do that with gloves. Like how
Oh yeah, no, I think
successful that's going to be.
I think it would be harder for Nedrigo to do it, but I think the rest of you, once you've got your hands in the gloves, like it's clumsier than you would be without the gloves, but it's not so clumsy you couldn't zip up someone else's suit.
Okay. So then Nedry would be in the tower in my
It's like
pocket.
working like work gloves.
Right.
So long as the tower still works within the suit, the last thing I want is to be trapped there when the person carrying me's trapped in a suit and, gets crushed by a rock or something.
Do you have anything outside the suits, or you're having the suits kind of go over like all your stuff?
Think over all the stuff?
I think in some cases that's a little bit tricky, just depending on what.
Yeah,
all
like with
you're
weapons you
carrying,
can't, but
yeah.
oh, so yeah, like probably my lute and
Mm-hmm.
or my mandolin, excuse me, and then
Now they
yeah.
are pretty bulky. You could have some stuff in there with you, but it would be awkward, and I'm certainly going to take that into account if you're needing to make dexterity saving throws or something.
Yeah, I mean, like anything big, like my shield and sword,
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously going to have to leave behind. My armor is fairly compact because it molds to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but isn't that magical in nature? That's what
Well, let's find out if it
Yeah, we'll find out pretty quickly.
keeps up.
So I think, yeah, I didn't think to that. Have we previously established you've all dealt with some anti-magic fields before? I don't think we had your armor literally like fall
Yeah, I
off
don't-
of you. But I think,
don't think so.
it stopped giving you the magical protection of the magical armor, but it didn't like fall off or something.
Yeah. Okay, so I can, like, once we seal it up, I can feel that I can't alter its shape by thinking, so I assume that, like, the anti-magic field.
Right. It's kind of still made itself into like a mobile like armor, but not. It's no
Right.
longer magically shaping itself.
I there's all kinds of odd possibilities. I mean, if you're carrying the tower and you go inside the suit with the tower, does the tower stop working? Can you wear the suit and go into the tower, or does it refuse to allow the tower to have you
Yeah,
enter?
I'm not sure we've ever explicitly had the tower enter an anti-magic field. But typically you also know that with most anti-magic fields, as in the spell, a powerful magical artifact like that is not rendered like inert, but it's rendered like inactive.
Hmm.
So like it wouldn't just suddenly like destroy itself or something like that, or immediately spit out anyone that's inside, but it might prevent anyone from coming in or out, for example.
Or it changing size.
Yeah.
More like it's sleeping rather than
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But right,
broken,
yeah,
yeah.
but like someone inside wouldn't necessarily like get immediately spit out or something like that. All right. So
I mean, this all relies upon us finding a place which is somewhat better.
mm,
There may not be much of that.
is everyone so Nedrigo is gonna be inside the tower with Carolina inside her suit. Everyone else is putting on a suit and then closing it up. All right, let's get new wisdom saving throws from everyone going inside the suit.
All righty.
Oh wow.
Look at that. Yeah, Lynn, you are able to resist it this time if you like. Zinharm, you can
yeah.
resist it if you like. Evan,
Mhm.
you feel your emotions and thoughts being magically suppressed.
That might be the first wisdom save I've ever made in this campaign.
Congratulations, you are due. So,
And it was on one where you may or may not want to actually succeed.
well, it does raise the question of if you are able to resist it, do you choose to resist it? Because
Mm.
it is you've decided that these suits are necessary. Are you
Right.
wanting to resist some part of how they function?
Yeah, I'm used to being dumb anyway, so why not?
That's what I
No,
was
I
thinking. Like, I
understand
probably-
the underlying purpose for
I
why
just-
it's causing that separation.
I adore the irony, though, of you saying like this is the one time you've ever saved, but you're choosing to let yourself fail regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about
gonna
Zinharm?
choose.
It's for
Yeah,
my
I'm
own
gonna
good.
choose to let myself fail.
Okay. So the three of you do find now that, this no longer feels like a potentially life or death or even world saving situation. Now it kind of feels like maybe a slightly boring story that you're being told. You know that's not true, but that's kind of the emotional level of weight that it has. It's a little bit perhaps like an extreme sort of a calm emotions spell here. Your thoughts are not like you can still have them, but you have a vague sense that it's a little more work getting there. And so sure enough, you've got them on, and now what? Making your way to the other door?
Yep.
Yep.
It's locked.
Of course it
Or
is.
more specifically, it looks as though it's got some kind of a little sort of magical device on there that looks like it was supposed to do something that is not currently powered up.
Because the building has no power because we destroyed the generators.
Yeah.
Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
Except that you're actually not that frustrated. It was just, like, this is
Yeah.
just what
I
it is.
don't feel
Ned-
anything.
Yeah.
Nedry, can you do
can't-
something?
He's in the
He's in the
tower. He
tower.
can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe Knock could open it, but I'm in the suit, so I'd have to get out of the suit.
Do you need me to open the back of your suit?
Yeah, I think I need to open the suit.
I will open the back of your suit.
Are you so...
Like Why are we all talking like Eeyore all of a sudden?
That's okay.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
noticing
noticing
me.
me.
So when the suit is unfastened, you feel normal again. Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, now I'm looking at this going, crap, I'm gonna have to open this door and
Then get back in the
expose
suit.
myself to all of this magic and not have the suit on. So okay, gotta do this really fast. Um just checking on okay. Yeah, okay. So it will be suppressed for 10 minutes. All right, it's going to be loud. All right.
all right.
So I'm going to cast knock.
All right. As you cast the spell, I'm just pulling it up. Yeah, there is a loud, resounding thump, clang. That resounds throughout the this quiet, empty tomb of a fortress. And this door does creak open. And you see inside is a small room with a similar door on the other side, meaning it's this room is only about 10 feet by 10 feet. The door that you've just opened, the inside of it looks like what you're seeing on the far wall. It's as though it looks like it's designed to be sort of a break in between.
It's an airlock situation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not
that I know what an airlock is.
Exactly, which is why I was trying to avoid saying it, but it's fine. That is simpler. It does look like it's basically an airlock functionality sort of deal.
All right.
It's like how they have at the dog park. They have the the fence that you go inside, and you close that one, and then you can let the dog off, and then open the other fence. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess just continue on inside since I'm probably going to have to cast this again.
Is everyone else following in?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm following.
Do you close the first door behind you?
Yes.
I do.
All right. Yeah. When you do, there is a brief moment where you hear sort of like a metallic pinging, like ting, ping, 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 ping. And then there's a weird sort of slurping sound, and you watch as like there is some kind of like a faucet or a sprinkler up on the top that is starting to drip some sort of a weird magical slime, and it doesn't spit out very much of it. It just like maybe, like half a liter or something that just sort of splats on the floor, and then you watch it like start to harden into like almost like a stone consistency. And then nothing else happens.
That doesn't seem good.
It looks like another system that was supposed to do something else, but is now not functioning properly because there's no power.
I will make my way to the other side and to the other door.
Okay. This door does have on the inside, there is sort of a big like turning like hatch wheel sort of thing on this side.
Okay, but it doesn't appear to have like a lock.
It doesn't
like
have the
one?
same sort of magical sensor that the outside
Okay.
of the other door had.
All right. I'm going to. So technically, all they would have really had to do is just open the seal a little bit on my suit to allow me to do magic. So I'm going to ask that you close that up again real fast. I'm going to try to open this just like normally.
All right,
Okay.
so all that happens, we assume, and you go to turn the wheel. Make an athletics check, or no, strength. I do think just straight strength. You probably it's the
Strength
same
check.
for you anyway, but
Well, no, well, I have a +6.
oh well, that's right because well you've
It's
got your
athletics.
bard in thing anyway. But yeah,
Yep.
so go ahead and make that strength check is what I want anyway.
Okay.
Because this is not like running or jumping. It's literally just like, can you turn this stuck wheel? And turns out, no.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not good at those.
Yeah, the wheel looks like it's designed to turn, but maybe hasn't turned in a while, and it's literally just stuck.
Okay.
I could
Sinhorn?
give it a try.
I'm going to back away from the door.
You don't have your magic strength. You have whatever your normal strength would have been.
Yes, let me unequip it so it shows the correct number. And then I'm doing what, a strength check?
Yeah. With someone assisting, you can get advantage.
Okay. Well, the first time I rolled.
I'm top, so I'll help.
All right.
Okay. So this is the second roll on the advantage, and it's a natural 20.
All right. So with assistance, yes, it is stuck. There's a small amount of crust and rust and debris that sort of falls off of it as you turn, and then get your shoulder behind a shove of this door, and you push it open. And inside, there is a moment of vertigo, and not your friend, but the sensation. Because on the inside is, in simple terms, it's a steep incline up to a mountain peak, and sticking out of the mountain peak is a featureless gray tower of impossible height. But even just kind of looking forward at it, it simultaneously seems as though you could reach out and touch it where you stand, and untold miles away, you're just feeling your equilibrium, just weaving, just trying to look up at it and perceive it. I think all of you find that if you sort of just like avert your eyes and don't look up at it, it sort of that feeling goes away. So I guess tell me, do you manage to just try to calm this strange sort of queasy dizziness by looking away, or do you try to hold the gaze of the pillar?
No, I think I'd look away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to look away.
All right.
I too will look away. I will take everybody else's cues.
All
Feel
right.
like, oh, we're not supposed to feel like this.
Yeah, so oh, and just to clarify, the things that you said you were leaving behind, Sinhorn, were you just leaving them on the on the floor in that equipment room, or were you having them like marked, or having Vertigo take them into the tower, or what?
I was going to have Vertigo take them into the tower.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be beasties running around. We may wind up in some other place that we need to be.
Right.
I don't want to have to go back for my sword.
So, as you sort of make an effort to look anywhere but up towards the pillar itself, you're able to see in a more conventional way. You know, the size of this perimeter fortress was already sort of very large, right? Like the area of the circle that it encompasses is still like several square miles, right? It's not, so you know that it's not like you're just right there already. But you can see sort of like the inside where there's just this featureless, thick gray wall facing it. And there are like at a distance, there does seem to be like at least one other door like that one you just came through.
Mhm.
But right now, you are seeing like a strange sort of harsh, blasted stone surface, as though it's just been subjected to like a wind so strong that nothing else could stay on the bare stone. But it's also kind of been eroded away by the blowing dust into strange, weird little curlicue shapes. Like the stone is not just like flat and smooth. It's been
Mhm.
kind of corroded almost, but you don't feel any wind on you right now. So it just you see like evidence that there's wind or something environmental that would do that.
Okay.
But so as you are kind of taking a few steps around in there, you find you're kind of able to move, but you're nonetheless also sort of any initiative to kind of go on or do anything else but stand there is you're finding that difficult to overcome the inertia of just standing there. And so I think at this point right now, to basically do anything, I need a charisma saving throw.
Hmm.
Yes.
That's a 21 for Lynn, which is a success. What are you trying to do?
Walk toward the
Look at that!
pillar.
All three of you manage. Yeah. Okay, so you're walking toward the pillar. Are you still trying to like avert your eyes from it?
Yeah, I'd kind of keep my eyes down,
Mm-hmm.
in as much as I can, and still be able to walk forward because I
Yeah.
don't want to
Mm-hmm.
trip over stuff. But
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're able to kind of start walking in that direction because of the strange vertigo that you felt when you looked up at it. You feel like it's hard to actually have a sense now that you're not looking at it. How big is it actually? Because it seemed impossibly tall, but then it was just you couldn't make your brain process the actual size of what you're seeing. This I'm I'm reminded a little bit in thinking about this of when I went to the Grand Canyon, because what would keep happening over and over again as I looked at the Grand Canyon is that I would start feeling like I understood how big it was. And then all of a sudden I'd see, oh, wait, no, that tiny little speck way over there is a helicopter. And it's over part of the canyon that I'm looking at. And just realizing, oh gosh, this is so big that I really can't even make my brain appreciate how big it is.
Yeah.
And so the pillar feels like it could be that big. Or maybe it's actually not that big at all, and it's just an object that is got some sort of a effect on it that makes it seem that way. So you're kind of not sure as you walk forward, like how close are you to it actually?
Well, the space that we're in is a couple of square miles at least. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to be, I would think, at least half a mile to a mile away from it. But um, I'm interested in seeing if there's like, and if this castle is just a circle around the pillar, or if there are any other like buildings that are closer to it that we can go to.
You don't see, like looking around in the part that you can see without looking up to where you know the pillar to be. You don't see anything else in here.
Okay. All right. I think we should go back inside.
why?
Because I think we can do whatever we need to do from here. Either, I mean, we have line of sight on it. There's no place we can go that would be closer where we wouldn't have to then get out of the suit um, to set up the machine. So we might as well like bring the machine out here in the airlock um, and uh, do what we're,
Assemble it.
yeah, do what we're, I mean, it's assembled. So we'll do whatever we need to do from here. I don't think we need to get any closer to it. I mean, unless this thing says we'll, it'll give us the ability to see it differently. So we can see it from here, unless it's got some kind of a range limitation on it, which
He says, looking at the ground.
yeah.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like people travel to the pillar and they go to the pillar. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
I
kind of
think
gonna
we
barf.
well, I think
I
we
felt
should.
less barfy back there. That's all I'm saying.
I think you do find that in the same way, in the way that you sort of had to really summon your force of will to make yourself walk, even, the idea of going back inside does not have that same sort of an uphill mental struggle to it.
I think we need to push forward because think about like all of the questions Nedry would have. It's like if we stop here, like that, we've come too far to quit now.
But are we gonna have to take gloves off to get the thing out? I
Well,
mean,
we won't know
that's
until we get there. We can always walk back. But I think we should at least keep going forward. So we can only go so far. Eventually, we're going to have to come back anyway, but we should go all the way to the end first. And we've come all this way. Don't you want to go all the way to the end?
Okay.
clearly you do. So I can't let you go by your damn self. I
Neither
guess we're
can I.
going.
Yeah, we'll try and go.
Damn you. Barfs inside the suit. I gotta go back now. Just kidding, I didn't really barf. Alright, so I'm just gonna watch my shoes and keep going.
Yep.
So you're all continuing to walk up the steep slope in the direction that you believe the pillar to be in without looking at it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Incidentally, I just looked up if the area of a circle is 5 square miles, then the radius is about 1.25 miles. About. So, just because it occurred to me to
Makes sense.
actually look. So you are making your way in that uphill direction. When you kind of like glance around to the side, you quickly realize that as you're leaving, the door behind the otherwise featureless uniformity of the wall on the inside of this perimeter fortress is a little disorienting. And you keep going uphill and uphill until all of a sudden you reach, in looking down at the ground, what feels like there you've reached like a ridge, and now it's downhill again if you keep going in that direction.
I may kind of look up a little bit
Yeah. I
Mhm.
want to
and look
look up.
around.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's 5.
Yeah.
28.
Wow. Okay. Lynn, I think you lose your footing and you fall and find yourself starting to like slide down a slope, and kind of tumble.
I try and grab Lynn.
Okay. One moment. So, Evan, you are able to look up and around, and you once again are feeling this really queasy vertigo as you look around, and somehow you realize it's as though you walked right by it and were coming down on the other side with somehow not having encountered it, when you were trying to walk towards the center. But now that you look at it, it seems impossible that you couldn't have just walked right through it in the way that you were just walking, and yet, but you're feeling yourself get sick, and just even looking up at it, the size, you can't reconcile it with how far away it must be. It seems like it's either right there or it's far away. You came this way. Where was the door that you came in? You're feeling like you're losing all sense of direction as you continue to try to look at it.
Okay.
There's something clearly. So I think to all of you, it's clear. First of all, Zinhorn, go ahead and make a dexterity save. Okay. Yeah. Lynn takes you out at the knees in her tumble, and both of you are tumbling now. You don't slide too far, but it's awkward. Actually, you know what? Both of you make one more dexterity save.
19.
Okay. That's pretty good. 15. Okay. Lynn, you just barely, as you manage to stop, see that your sleeve has sort of caught on a slightly sharper little curlicue of rock where like some of it had been pulled away, and you see that like your suit is intact, but it wouldn't have taken much more for it to tear. I think all of you are getting a sense as you try with this that this strange feeling of disorientation that you feel when you look at it, even though you don't feel that same level of sickness looking away, something spatially is strange in here. And it's difficult to process what is happening while thinking through a layer of cotton. It may, in fact, actually be that the very thing that is protecting you, from the magic that is in this place is perhaps also interfering with your ability to actually perceive the thing. Almost as though preventing you from being able to fully perceive it is part of what it does.
Would I be dumb enough to try to like take off my helmet?
You tell me.
I mean, I have like an intelligence 10.
Mm-hmm.
No modifier.
I think
that's
as
maybe
I
a
But I'm
am,
like
wisdom
wise.
question, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty wise.
yeah, I think as I am kind of getting back to my knees and like that wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's like, so when you go back to the door, huh?
Oh, I'm already here though. I think like if we could maybe use the thing, we would actually be able to see it. Maybe.
Maybe. But we would
I
have
don't
to
know.
get the
We'd have to
thing
take
out.
these.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm saying
just so
door
I
first.
can clarify one thing, because I just realized the way I said it could have been taken more than one way. I think that you're starting to get a sense with this feeling of your distorted perception and feelings even within the suit and the way that it's interfered, that it's possible that the pillar itself is doing something, well, it's almost certain that it's doing something very strange and powerfully magic, but you get the sense too, though, that the suits, in trying to protect you from the pillar, like that's your assumption as to what they do, part of what is considered that protection by the makers of the suit is to prevent you from fully being able to perceive the pillar.
Okay.
And so it's possible that that is part of what's interfering with your ability to try to look at it or travel to it.
I think we're going to have to take the suit off, which will
Yeah.
expose us to the pillar. And I think the best bet that we have is to go back inside to the airlock, set everything up, and then open the door.
Good gods. Let's go. Can we just
Yep.
roll down the
Just like a bunch of
I
like
can
8-year-olds
fly.
on
Do
a
that
grassy
video
hill.
game slide on.
Yeah.
I was
But
just
we're all
thinking of like
poopy
little
like
kids
Ralphie's
on
brother.
a steep grassy hill, just like doing that thing, rolling down.
Yeah.
On the
Well,
sides.
we're already dizzy and
Mhm.
nauseous, so
Might as well.
like
Oh,
Prince
I'm
of
sure
Persia
these
style
suits would
down the
be
side of the mountain.
even more fun if you throw up inside. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh.
I think, yeah, I'm, with this being flavor for the idea that you're walking down normally and carefully, yes, you can make it back to the door. And,
Okay.
Right.
go inside
Yes,
and pull it closed.
Yeah, as soon as that airlock is closed, I'm taking off this helmet. Going, oh, that was so unpleasant. I don't like it.
You wanted to see it.
Well, I
Ugh.
thought maybe if we got close enough that there'd be like if you like push through it, like at the very center of it, like be like the eye of the storm where it's calm, but apparently not.
No,
No.
not like this.
So I'm gonna pull the tower out of my pocket.
Mhm.
No. Go fetch Nedry. So we gotta rethink some things.
So what'd you learn?
Nothing.
We're back here again? Or is this a different spot?
Oh, you're done.
Same.
They did it. They fixed it. It's all good. No.
Oh, well, that was easy. I'll go
Campaign
back to my
over.
books.
Yeah.
I got some things to write.
Hmm.
I think we're gonna have to do this without the suits.
Why?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Well, it was really hard to think, first of all, and that makes it hard to like really understand what it is you're looking at. And I was gonna have to take off the suit anyway to get you out. So
Well, when
Yeah.
I was in the suit, there was some sort of magical effect. I simply decided not to have it affect me. So you could probably
What?
choose not to have that clouded mind.
it
Yeah,
felt
but
like maybe it was a way of like trying to protect us in some way. Like I understood the reason behind it, but anyway, we decided that's not gonna work. So
yeah, we
came
couldn't
back
even
here.
like really see the tower, even though we walked right by it. I think that was
You think that
weird.
was some of the
Yeah.
same effect of the other magic that was involved? If you were able to resist it, could that also be resisted?
No,
Yeah.
I think
Um,
that we need to be able to see it clearly. That's all I'm going to say.
Nedrigo, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, or I guess Arcana would also probably apply here.
Okay. Only a 19.
Okay, well, 19's still pretty good. Just based on what you all were able to glean from the Pillarines and their whole deal here, they seemed to have developed a whole ideology over however much time it was that was basically like nobody should ever go to the pillar, right? And even if they had a method to go on the inside of the fortress for whatever reason, you believe that it's very likely that they would be taking extreme precautions to prevent anyone from ever reaching the pillar in any way that they can, including themselves, because they don't want anyone to ever approach it and like accidentally interact with its magic. And so it does seem very plausible to you that the suits were expressly designed to allow limited exposure to the inside of this perimeter while doing everything possible to prevent you from interacting with the tower.
So they were definitely designed by Pillarines. And if anybody had managed to evade them or get outside, they'd have to go after them. But they wouldn't be able to do that unless they were not susceptible to the pillar itself. Very well designed and worth studying later. There are other magical uses for something that can suppress magic on that level. But you might be right. The suits themselves might be the very reason why we can't make any progress. I can offer some magical protection that might assist in any mental interference, but there's no guarantee that the magic here isn't going to simply wipe that away or otherwise distort the effect. Nonetheless, I can try. It'll strengthen your minds, at least. For a while.
No, we can give it a try.
Do you feel ready to try again? I don't know how difficult it was to do.
We're here, and yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
I'm like chewing on some mint that I had in my backpack, just like trying to
I
get
found
rid of
some
the
mint.
nausea.
Free mint.
All right. Well, you don't need to be too nearby. As long as I can maintain concentration on this, we should at least have some protection against it.
And at 6th level, he'll cast Intellect Fortress on the 4 of us.
Nice.
So it lasts for an hour. It is concentration. You have resistance to psychic damage and advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure it's nothing compared to the ability of a Titan, but it might at least allow you a moment of clarity. And then we can, well,
And I'm assuming you described your trip up the mountainside.
that's
We
going
did.
to be difficult to climb, but manageable.
But that might have been the effect of the suits. Also, we don't know.
True. Each of you move a lot faster than me. I can do something about that.
And since it's not concentration, when they're ready to go, he'll cast Long Strider on himself,
Okay.
which brings him up to average speed. 35. It's not really that great,
Well,
but
30 would be normal, so you're
yeah.
faster than that.
Now you're
And-
faster than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And let's see. No, it's a first level spell, so he does actually spend a spell slot. And I should do that one too.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to go.
Yep.
So have you taken off the suits or are you just
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah. I didn't even hang mine back up.
Mhm.
I just kind of like sloughed it off and kicked it. Ugh.
So do you open the door?
Brace yourselves. Could somebody open the door? I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you go to turn the hatch wheel, it's easier now that it's been unstuck. But as you get to the point where it finally, has removed the latch and the door can open, I want you to make a strength saving throw, Carolina, if you're opening it. 19 is pretty good. I think that you are able to avoid having it basically crush you against the side of the wall as it blasts open. It blasts open because suddenly there is the sense of incredible hurricane-like wind flowing in through the doorway, and it seems impossible that it could be that windy, that much of a gust coming in the door, because it's such a small room that it's entering. There's nowhere for the air to go. And yet, as you watch, impossibly, in a way that you don't understand what could be happening, at least, it seems as though the wind is blowing away the walls of the room you were in like they were just cardboard sets or something that now have been blown out of place, tumbling off into the distance, carried on this crazy wind as you now find yourself on a wide, featureless plain, pressed down as this incredible hurricane force wind is blowing past you. And as you look around, your eyes watering against the wind, you can see no feature in any direction except for ahead, where you see the shadow of a strange dark tower.
You didn't describe any of this part.
We didn't
This
see
is
it last
new.
time.
Do we have the device out and ready?
I think that room
It-
was pretty small for that. Like,
Yeah, it wouldn't
you
have
could
fit.
have maybe
Oh.
made it work if you'd wanted to, but it would have been difficult. I had
Okay.
assumed that you had not done that, but
Okay.
you could have if you feel like that's what you were wanting to do. I know Zinhorn kind of suggested that you might do that, but it was a very small room.
Yeah, especially
Would-
with the four of us in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would
It
we
would've-
be able to maintain the capability to do it against the wind while we're out here?
I mean, you could try. The wind is really strong. You feel like if you're kind of bracing yourself, like if you're being careful, you could probably stand or even walk against the wind without necessarily needing to make a roll. But it would certainly, you'd be moving slowly and, at risk of, if you were to lose your balance, it could blow you over. That's the strength of the wind.
And when we say featureless plain, just a black space, or
It's the same kind of stone that I was describing in there before. It's stone like stone would be if you had an actual sort of rocky, landscape subjected to this kind of wind constantly.
Okay.
It has just worn away anything that is not the stone, and it has left some sort of irregular shapes as parts of the stone are more, subject to the erosion than others. And so it's occasionally a little bit uneven, but nothing extends above the surface. There's basically sort of a flat plane and little, hollows and everything, but not anything that sticks up, except, of course, the one thing that does. And so and now, as I mentioned, it's as though the room you just came through was never there at all. You don't see anything else in any direction. You just see sort of almost like a maybe foggy, maybe just really low cloud cover sky in every direction.
Well, we proved that the suits were definitely giving you a different experience.
Yeah.
Can
I think the room is probably physically still here. We should probably move forward a little bit and then try and set the machine up.
do you think this is an illusion?
I don't know, but I don't want to
Only the
take a
machine will
chance.
tell.
Fair. Can someone get the machine?
I've got the
Yeah.
tower.
I can't move it. It's too heavy.
I'm super tough, so I'll do it. Me and Zinhorn could do it together.
Yeah, I've got my my strength back, so yeah, you and I can do it together.
So, Lynn, we don't always like bring this up explicitly, and I sometimes will treat it as though it's something you really have to kind of like activate focus, in a specific way. But would you pull out the true sight in a situation like this?
I imagine so.
Mhm.
Yeah, she might not think of it right away, but
Sure.
yeah.
I think that there's something little kind of like tickling the back of your mind as an idea that maybe is what inspires you to use it. And I think it's a little bit hard to understand what you're seeing at first, but I would like you to make an Arcana check.
27.
All right. Yeah. So you realize that there is absolutely an illusion of some kind here, illusion magic. And you know that although certainly very simple illusion magic is just like there's no actual physical substance to it, and you usually, like, even once you've recognized that it's an illusion, you could just like see through it like it's translucent, right? But you know that, you're certainly powerful enough in these matters to know that there is more powerful illusion magic that can basically mimic every other sensation as well, right? And so, like, even for example, very strong wind, right?
Mhm.
You recognize that this sort of landscape that you're within right now and the wind is an illusion. But there's more than that. You realize that you are in a unique position to understand a bit more about what's happening here. You are in, right now, the first layer of what seems to be a Titanic scale version of a prismatic wall.
Oh no. This is your revenge.
No, this is I will invite you to think of it another way, right? This is me rewarding your use and understanding of the prismatic wall spell to unlock your understanding of what's happening to you here. It's absolutely not because it's a frustrating spell to deal with as a GM. And again, like, to reiterate, and I've told you this before, whenever I'm sort of playing at being frustrated, part of that is like the joy of discovering that, like, it's someone has found hey, look, if you stand in this corner here, you can clip through the wall, and then you can get to the flag in half the time. In any case, though, so you have a sense that there is a layered magical effect here. And you can recognize now that this landscape that you seem to be in and the wind is illusory. And this will give you, basically, you realize that now that you recognize it's an illusion, you don't actually feel the wind anymore. And you sense that if you were to even just walk 10 feet forward, you would be out of it into whatever the next layer is. And then I think as you recognize this, feeling it, you kind of look around at your fellows who are still like, oh, and discussing the, getting the machine out.
Hmm. Um, just not to interrupt because this is important, but I thought I should let you all know that this is all an illusion, even this wind. And I'm just gonna like stand up and like stand there normally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it's a trick and it's hard to convince yourself that it's not real, but it's not.
All right, I'm gonna try and fight this illusion.
Okay, so everyone who'd like to can make an intelligence check with advantage because you've been told that it's an illusion, which is different from being able to see that for yourself.
A full split.
Wow, a 1 and a 20.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so you, yes, you are able to see through the illusion as well. So is Vertigo. And again, this, you're not feeling the wind. You can move through it, but you understand you're still not seeing the other side. But you could move through it now.
I
Evan,
will
yeah,
take
you're still
Evan
getting
by
a little
the
bit of
arm.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Evan by the arm and like just kind of
Mhm.
because I'm not super strong, so if I can just like lead him on to the next
Sure.
layer.
Yeah. You walk together, and Evan, you suddenly feel like your body's on fire. You are going to take 20 force damage as you feel like you've just walked into a wall of pain. Tell me, and this is honor system sort of deal here. Do you recoil and back away from it, or do you try to push through?
Oh, I would totally recoil.
I mean, I think it's a sensible, normal reaction. Yeah.
I'm definitely like not smart enough to realize, even though she said this isn't real, like this is
Yeah.
so real.
Yeah. So, I think, Nedry and Zinhorn, as if you've passed through this area, you see that you're kind of in what seems almost like a new landscape where there's not that same level of wind or the overcast, but there's a strange sort of like everything's covered maybe with snow. It's snowing a little bit. Lynn, like Evan just like jerked out of your hand and yelped.
Trying to think if there's anything that I can do to help with this.
I should note that they already had advantage because, or no, it wasn't a saving throw, was it? It's just a straight up intelligence check.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
it's like investigation technically, if that made any
Okay.
difference.
What if he just closes his eyes? Like, just close your eyes and I will lead you through it. And if you can't see it, then nothing's happening, right?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Like, look at my skin; it's on fire.
Hmm.
I like to imagine that I'm imagining little like fire welts and stuff that aren't there.
I'm trying to see if there's any Barty things I can do, and I don't think so. Yeah, because counter charm's not gonna do much here. I mean, that's really the only idea I have. I mean,
The only thing I have is protection from energy. Because I don't understand how like this prismatic wall works. I would protect myself from one type of energy and it would only
Yeah.
last until
Mhm.
like we get to the next thing and then I'd be screwed all over again. That's
I can
fine.
try to
I'm cool.
dispel the illusion, but I'm not sure if it works that way.
well, I mean, the other option is you go back in the suit.
No, I can't.
Well, then I think you're going to have to change your perspective.
not saying you can't take me. I'm just saying it sucks.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try closing my eyes
Okay.
Just
and,
like
going
I
at it
would
that way.
probably go so far as to like tie a bandana around his
I was
head.
gonna say you should blind
You
me.
just
Okay.
put him in the tower and carry the tower through.
Oh, yeah. He's got to go in there to get the machine anyway, right?
Hmm.
It's probably easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just
All
go
right,
in there.
in you go.
I'm going to cast Aura of Purity.
Whoa. Okay. All right. So Evan is going inside the tower. While you're holding the tower, Lynn, the tower feels warm in a way that it doesn't usually. It's not unpleasant to hold or anything, but it's certainly different than usual.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like this. Just heads up. We'll inform them of
Mhm.
the unusual warmth of the item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it was the machine causing that. I have no idea. Or do we want to press on?
I think we need to press on.
All right.
So does Evan come out of the tower when you're past that point, or no?
He should, yeah.
I mean, you tell me.
It's up to Evan.
Somebody's got to tell me.
We need to
I'm in
install
the
a klaxon
tower.
in
I
there or
don't
something.
know.
Yeah.
Do we want to just
I'm
get as far
assuming.
as we're going to get, and then when we're at wherever, then get him? Or
I
do
don't know
we
where
actually-
wherever is, but
Me neither.
I'd like to think that I'm in there right now, like chasing Buster around like a little hamster because I made him
I
go
think
through the thing.
you left Buster behind. He's not
Yeah.
in there.
Buster's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
in
he's
there.
not in the
Bring him in.
tower.
because he'd be too
Mhm.
susceptible to it, and you never know what a
That's
Buster's going to
true.
want.
Yeah.
Wish from the pillar.
Mhm.
A giant pizza.
Infinite dog bones.
Yep. Things to chase.
Pushing
Well,
on.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, but with Evan coming out or no?
I mean, I don't care. I'll
I
come
mean-
out.
You're allowed to. I'm just saying. Okay.
I was going to. They were just debating whether or
Well-
not I should.
Well, okay. So I probably should have asked before you went in. Do you want to come out once we're through the layer, or
I mean, do I get to make a new intelligence saving throw?
Well, I'm assuming that you went
In
in the
each new
tower
layer?
and they carried the tower along past that one area. You don't know what the next layer is. Because the landscape already looks different for the people who went through it.
But that's what I mean. Like when we get to the next layer, do I get to make a new intelligence saving throw?
You don't know what it is.
Oh,
we give
okay.
it a shot once, and if it doesn't work, then
Hmm.
Okay. All right. I get it now.
A prismatic wall is a different thing for every layer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will come back out and hope for the best.
Okay. Well, I think as each of you now looks ahead, the enormous tower in the distance seems perhaps a little bit closer, but now instead of this wind, there seems to be a strange, like almost like a fuzzy powdery coating on everything, and it's maybe snowing a little bit, but then as you sort of reach out and like catch some of these like drifting flakes, it seems actually as though it's not snow at all. It's ash of some kind.
we should probably get moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you continue walking, you're first leaving, like footprints in the ash on the ground. But the ashfall does start coming down harder as you're going. It's getting deeper around you as you're sort of like trudge through it, and it's starting to kind of stick to you. Like you're pretty soon finding yourself like you're just almost like covered in it and coated in it, and it's like sticking to you.
Do we think this is another illusion?
Likely. Do the trick. Gonna squint with my true sight again, see if I can see
The
through this.
the true sight does give you another, like, you still sort of see the broader environmental thing of there's multiple layers of magic happening here, but in this case this ash that's on you does not appear to be a literal illusion in the way that the wind was.
And there
Um,
doesn't seem to be a source of the ash, or there's no features on the landscape at all.
No, the sky is kind of, again, still this sort of overcast, and it seems to just be coming from the sky. You don't see anything on the horizon except the tower.
Does anybody have the ability to summon wind or, I don't know,
Only
a
minorly.
breeze? That may be all we need? Because
We'll
the
try the-
ash is for real.
We'll try the gust cantrip. That's all I have.
Yeah, so you do the gust cantrip, and it absolutely creates this whoosh, but all of the ash that's like on the ground that is like disturbed by it is suddenly like up in the air, and it's just kind of coming down again. And you're sort of able to blow it away, but it's just creating it swirling around. It's almost harder to see now. And you know, Nedrigo, as you know, as a gnome, you're finding that, like, as this ash is starting to get a little deeper, like, you know, it's kind of like up to your thighs at this point. It's starting to get a little bit hard to walk through, and everyone else, you're just feeling it like it's not just like stuck on you. It's starting to almost like get like a layer, and it's like you wipe it away, but it's just like getting all over you, and you're feeling like the ground under your feet is starting to get like softer, and it's a little harder to kind of like trudge through.
I'm gonna try prestidigitation on an area and see if that helps at all.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and you do that, and I think that it does sort of clear it away from like a small area, but this is not a fast thing, you know, despite the way that we use it. Sometimes it's actually takes a full minute to get that effect, which it does seem to, what the effect of removing the ash from, you know, the area of, say, your arm that you used it on, that ash suddenly just kind of goes back into the air and then just starts swirling around and then just sticks again.
I cast Freedom of Movement at level 7 and touch all 4 of us. So we are no longer slowed.
Okay. What that does, all of a sudden, it's as though the ash can no longer stick to you, and it all just kind of starts falling away. And you're able to sort of just move through, and it just kind of, it's almost like moving through water now, where it just sort of like, it sort of parts as you move through. But you are finding that the ground does increasingly feel less solid under your feet. And the piling drifts of the ash are getting deeper, and so you're not obstructed by it. And in fact, I think there is an element to which you're starting to wonder if there's even like, would you be able to know if there was a hole that was filled with the ash? What would happen? You know, so you're starting to, like, the ground under your feet, like I said, is feeling less and less solid. It's feeling more, you know, like first spongy and then kind of sticky, almost like quicksand. And you're able to just sort of move through it, but you're getting a sense that like down is no longer a solid direction.
I can move us along, but it will be costly.
What about flying?
I'm maintaining concentration on the Nolak Fortress at the moment, so I can't fly.
Well, the other option is one person flies, everyone else gets in the tower till we get to the next layer.
True.
I can fly.
It's true. See if this bothers you while you're flying.
Give it.
I'm
Are
gonna.
your wings going to
I
be like? Are they
well,
free?
I think what's starting to happen is the ash is swirling around so much that even though it's not sticking to you now, it's hard to see. Like it's
Hmm.
the entire area is kind of like it's a dirty blizzard.
Can you stabilize the ground?
I mean, I don't know what the ground is made of. He'll try to touch the ground to see if he can identify what it looks like.
So you're just trying to like brush the ash away to sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Just see what the ground is
Yeah.
made of. If it's
Mhm.
dirt or mud or something.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
It's more ash.
14. It's ash all the way down.
Well,
Only 14.
you're not wrong actually. I think what you find is you keep sort of like brushing the ash away and you get to the point where it feels like this should be ground now, but it just feels like more and more and more ash until the point where you've like you've sort of dug down like a good foot and a half below what seemed to have been the level of the ground before.
Okay.
And I'd suggest some kind of water thing, but also I'd be worried that that would just wash away all the ground. Like I don't think we want a landslide, right?
Well, I almost get the impression that the closer we're getting, we're actually walking on heaps and heaps of ash.
The closer we get, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah.
So do we
Well,
just keep pushing through?
I won't be able to move through this very much pretty soon. Not on my own, anyway. I don't mind a lift if that's possible, but
You
it's
could get
gonna.
on my back.
Yeah, I think so. You're strong enough,
Hmm.
but it might
And
keep getting deeper.
yeah, maybe hang on to one another or something so we don't get lost. It's already getting hard to see.
Watch your step too.
So you're making your way through. It is, in fact, getting deeper and deeper. You really can't see the horizon at all anymore. You only have visibility maybe just 5 or 10 feet ahead of you. You're wading through drifts that, like, up past the waist of even those of you who are medium sized now. And again, you're not like obstructed in the way that snow would do because it seems to just like pass for you with the freedom of movement. But you start also experiencing a little bit of a sensation of like, are the drifts actually getting deeper? Or are you like, is the ground going down beneath it? You are certainly experiencing what seems to be deeper drifts, but it's not clear whether that's because whatever ground you're able to sort of make contact with your feet is sloping down or the top is getting, maybe both. But the point is that it's getting deeper and deeper. You really can't see ahead of you at all. And it's really seems to be getting worse and worse the more you go.
Time to fly. Just saying.
If you
This is-
fly up, Zinhorn, does it get any thinner, higher?
I'm gonna try flying up a little bit.
Okay. I think
Zero
that
visibility.
you
You'd
just
get lost.
I think, well, so it sounds like, how much are you willing to get out of line of sight of your friends?
Not willing.
I will tie a rope around you.
Okay.
All right.
So I
Or we
will
could
do
all
that.
just go in the tower and Zinhorn can make a run for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Um,
Everybody in.
As
maybe
the-
you could carry me, so I could do the gust in front of your face, so at least that part's less obscuring.
I'm strong enough. Sure.
All right. I think as Lynn and Evan go inside the tower, you holding the tower's Inhorn, it is noticeably significantly warm now. Like
Okay.
it is in a distinctly abnormal way.
Okay.
The as you are holding Nidrago and trying to fly, it's really just like the spell still keeps the ash from getting like in your eyes, but you really still can't see anything, and you're not even really sure you're going the right way. The gust gets it, makes it marginally better, but not enough to see the distance necessary. I think you are just, it is disorienting to the point where you you can fly up there. Nothing is stopping you, but you can't really tell if you're even going the same direction you started in.
Okay, I'm gonna land.
Okay.
I have to
When
think
you
of
come
something
in
else.
for a landing, there is no solid ground at all. You find yourself just plunging into ash to like well above your head, and you're not even really sure if you're like, have you even stopped moving? You're now completely surrounded in by it, both of you.
Can I still move forward?
I mean, there's nothing to press against. You would have to be
Oh,
almost like you're swimming. You're literally, it's as though you're underwater, except it's pitch black because it's ash, not water.
all right.
You feel vaguely as though you are slowly sinking.
I'm gonna try flying up.
Okay.
Is there enough room for me to fly? Like, is this soft enough for me to fly in?
You're finding now that you're attempting to sort of like flap and fly in, but the ash moving like flowing out of the way of you is preventing you from getting any actual upward force.
Hmm.
Well, we could try magically flying, but it's
Or you could just let yourself sink.
Um, I've seen Labyrinth. I don't think I want to go down. I'm not choosing down. I still have freedom of movement on me.
down can't be the right solution though, because if they wanted us to go down, we would be going down,
Right.
which means it's not a solution, it's the fail.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Um,
We're gonna have to rethink this. I don't know if we're falling or not. It's a very strange sensation. We haven't hit ground, which is good.
You feel like as you continue to struggle, like trying to like swim or flap or fly upwards, you feel as though you are continuing to slowly sink.
Can't go forward, can't go down, can't go up, can't go in,
Well, you
can't
can
go
go
out.
down.
Well, we are going down, but we haven't got any control over that. If down is the right answer, then we'll get there eventually, I suppose.
yeah, down is the only. I can't change going down. Other than to do word of recall and take us back out.
Or gate to completely abort, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, word of recall would abort. It would take us all the way back to Sunya. Let's see what happens when we go down.
Do you just relax and let it happen, or?
Yeah, I pull my wings in.
I will experiment with a few different cantrips to see if any magical effects.
Okay.
I've got cold and fire and Actually, with Sorcerer's Burst, I can technically do any of them. So
Mm-hmm.
just to see if that has any effect on them. On the
I
ash.
mean, I think it has the predictable effect on the ash that is immediately in the area of your spell, but you're submerged in it. So there's just always more.
There better be something more. I'd hate for the story to end here, Zen.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, we do have a way out.
I think that this seems to me like it would be a stressful situation. But I think as you have decided to kind of see what happens here, I would like each of you to give me, I think, just a wisdom check, unless you want to try to pitch me on something that is you attempting to relax and stop fighting the sinking.
I thought I already said I was fighting.
I know.
I wasn't.
I'm
yeah.
saying.
Okay.
But there's a difference.
Is it a
between
saving
saying,
throw?
Okay.
Or...
Yeah. It is a check, unless you want to try to pitch me on some other skill. But what I'm saying here is not just. It's one thing to decide. It's another thing to say. I'm letting this happen. I'm relaxing.
Right. Okay. So wisdom saving throw or
Wisdom check is what I've said.
wisdom
twice.
check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Oh,
24.
look at that.
Natural
Nice.
20.
Okay. Did you do one too, Nidrigo, or no?
Well, he'll try, but
Yeah.
the only thing he can rely upon in this point is the strength and comfort of his brother.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll try to calm his mind. Does not work.
Wow. Okay. So tell me, Nidrigo, what is it that so when the decision is made to let yourselves sink, what sudden thought causes you to panic instead?
I think it's the powerlessness of it all. Is not being able to change anything, not be able to affect anything. And it would be the same kind of physical reaction that he had when he was in the sub, in the Craberatus. And this is that same fear.
Yeah.
That's the actual fear that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Is the sense of it's not up to me, it's up to, in that case, those blasted machines. In this case, it's the environment. So I think he starts hyperventilating. Don't like this at all. Don't like this at all. I can make us fly. Or I could just teleport us somewhere, or anything else.
So, Zinhorn, as you found yourself following your impulse to try to not only just let yourself go down, but to kind of relax into it, like to surrender to it in a way, like, not in a defeat sort of way, but to just say, this is happening. I'm going to let it happen. I'm not worried. This is my decision. I'm relaxing into it. You feel yourself actually, your downward motion seems to slow and then stop, and you're almost now feeling buoyed, almost like trying to float in water. But just as you're starting to sort of recognize this feeling of like, oh, it's perhaps like struggling in quicksand. Now that you've relaxed, it's supporting you. You're floating. But as you feel Nedrigo starting to panic, he slips out from your grasp and disappears below you.
Oh boy.
And I think that is actually where we will end tonight's session.
Oh.
Yes. So, in any case, what will happen next as the pocket protectors deal with the sea of ash on their way to the pillar? We will find out when we return for more adventure on so many levels.
So many
So
levels.
many
So
magical
many
layers.
ashes.